folks. Today we are going to introduce a very important device that is omnipresent around us. Sensors. Yes, sensors are devices that detect the change in the environment and respond to some output on the other system. Let's first find out the learning outcome of this video. That is, in this video, you will learn about what is a sensor, how does a sensor work, different types of sensors with respect to process control, different types of sensors with respect to signal control, similarity between sensors and human sense organs, and application of sensors. Did you know that you are using sensors in your daily life at home and also at your workplace? Probably there is not a single day when you are not in touch with a sensor around you. Let's take for example at home. The AC and the TV are controlled using a remote having a sensor. At workplaces or other public places, in the present scenario, most of you have come in contact with the contactless hand sanitizer machine. That again is an example of a sensor being used by us. There are many more such examples that make it evident that sensors are part of all things around us now. We will share with you some interesting details about sensors and how they work. Let's begin by understanding what a sensor is. Sensors are those electronic components which can sense the changes in the environment around us and convert that environmental parameter into an electrical signal. There can be any physical changes like temperature, humidity, touch, motion, etc. And all these changes can be sensed by the sensors. So now let's see how does a sensor work. Sensors work on a sense mechanism very similar to that of humans. Let's take an example of touch. As soon as something touches human skin, it produces a neural impulse and sends it to the brain, which in return tells the body what kind of touch it is and how the body should react to it. Similarly, sensors are connected with a device called a microcontroller, which is the brain of any electronic device. The sensor senses the physical change and produces an electrical signal, which is then sent to the microcontroller, which in return tells us about the physical change. The signal produced by the sensor or the physical change detected by the sensor can be used to set the function of other devices. For example, a fire alarm signal produced by a sensor on detecting fire is used to blow the alarm. Let's find out about the different types of sensors. In the category of process control, the sensors are divided into two types: active sensors and passive sensors. Active sensors are those that do not require any external source of power to operate. For example, a thermocouple, which produces voltage on exposure to heat, and also a piezoelectric plate produces voltage when pressure is applied on it. While the passive sensors require an external power supply to operate, some examples of those are a gas sensor, an IR sensor, and many more. In the category of signal control, the sensors are divided in another two categories: analog sensors and digital sensors. First, let's look at what are analog sensors. Analog sensors are devices that produce analog output in correspondence to the quantity being circulated. These sensors also observe the change in external factors such as light, intensity, speed of the wind, and solar radiation, along with others. The output ranges between 0 volt to 5 volt. These sensors produce values anywhere between 0 to 1023. These type of sensors are mainly used in sensing those physical changes that have some range of values or multiple values included, like temperature, speed, volume of gas, etc. Analog sensors produce analog signals So let's see what an analog signal is. Analog signals are the continuous signals that vary with time and their values are in a range of -2 to 2. And there can be infinite values within this range. These signals are used to control those devices that have multiple functionalities. Now we will see what are digital sensors. Digital sensors are the devices that produce digital output in correspondence to the quantity being calculated. These sensors observe the change in external factors such as motion, obstacle, and others. And the output is 0 volt or 5 volt. These sensors produce values either 0 or 1. These type of sensors are mainly used in sensing those physical changes that have only 2 values included. Digital sensors produce digital signals in output. So let's see what a digital signal is. Digital signals are discrete signals that vary with time and have only 2 values, either 0 or 1, and no other value is possible. A digital signal is a signal that represents data as a sequence of discrete values. A digital signal can only take on one value from a finite set of possible values at a given time. These signals are used to control those devices which have only 2 sets of functions. Now let's talk briefly about the different sensors that we have around us. Potentiometer. Potentiometer is a 3-terminal variable resistor in which the resistance is manually varied to control the flow of electric current. A potentiometer acts as an adjustable voltage divider. 2 of its terminals are connected to a resistive element. The third terminal is connected to an adjustable wiper. The position of the wiper determines the output voltage. Application of potentiometer. It is used for volume control in audio equipments, and it is also used for controlling the speed of a fan. Flex sensor. A flex sensor or bend sensor is a low-cost and easy-to-use sensor specifically designed to measure the amount of deflection or bending. A flex sensor is basically a variable resistor that varies in resistance upon bending. Since the resistance is directly proportional to the amount of bending, it is often called a flexible potentiometer. The conductive ink printed on the sensor acts as a resistor. When the sensor is straight, this resistance is about 25K. When the sensor is bent, the conductive layer is stretched, resulting in reduced cross-section. Like imagine stretching a rubber band. It works similar to that. This reduced cross-section results in an increased resistance. At 90-degree angle, this resistance is about 100 kilo ohm. When the sensor is straightened again, the resistance returns to its original value. By measuring the resistance, you can determine how much the sensor is bent. Application of flex sensor. It is used in robotics. The controlling joint movement or placement is easy with the flex sensors. This is also used in virtual reality gaming gloves. Force-sensitive sensor. A force-sensitive resistor is a material which changes its resistance when a force or pressure is applied. Conductive film is an example of such force resistance material. In other words, a force-sensitive resistor is a sensor that allows you to detect physical pressure, squeezing, and weight. How does this sensor work? Force-sensitive resistors, or FSRs, are usually composed by 2 substrate layers, followed by the conductive film and the plastic spacer, which includes an opening aligned with the active area. After the spacer layer, there is the conductive print on the substrate. When external force is applied to the sensor, the conductive film is deformed against the substrate. Air from the spacer opening is pushed through the air vent, and the conductive film comes into contact with the conductive print on the substrate. The more of the conductive ink area gets in touch with the conductive film, the lower becomes the resistance. Therefore, the more pressure applied on the sensor, the more the layers touch the conductive film, and that makes the resistance go down. Application of force sensors. These sensors are used in the medical field for fluid monitoring, dialysis, etc. They are also used in onboard weighing for ensuring that vehicles carry maximum load capacity for avoiding inefficiency or overloading. Light-dependent resistor. A photoresistor or light-dependent resistor is an electronic component that is sensitive to light. When light falls upon it, then the resistance changes. They are made up of semiconductor materials that have high resistance. There are many different symbols used to indicate a photoresistor or LDR. One of the most commonly used symbols is shown in the figure below. The arrow indicates light falling on it. So let's find out how exactly does a light-dependent resistor work. Photoresistors work based on the principle of photoconductivity. Photoconductivity is an optical phenomenon in which the material's conductivity is increased when light is absorbed by the material. When light falls, that is, when the photons fall on the device, the electrons in the valence band of the semiconductor material are excited to the conduction band. These photons in the incident light should have energy greater than the band gap of the semiconductor material to make the electrons jump from the valence band to the conduction band. Hence, when light having enough energy strikes on the device, more and more electrons are excited to the conduction band, which results in a large number of charged carriers. The result of this process is that more and more current starts flowing through the device when the circuit is closed, and hence it is said that the resistance of the device has been decreased. This is the most common working principle of the light-dependent resistor or the LDR. Application of the light-dependent resistor. These resistors can be used in street lights, and these resistors are also used in alarm clocks. Water level sensor. A water level sensor is a device used to sense the level of liquid within a tank. It may actuate a pump, an indicator, an alarm, or any other device. The sensor has a series of 10 exposed copper traces, 5 of which are power traces and the rest 5 are sense traces. These traces are interlaced so that there is one sense trace between every 2 power traces. Usually, these traces are not connected but are bridged by water when submerged. Let's find out how does this sensor work. The series of exposed parallel conductors together acts as a variable resistor whose resistance varies according to the water level. The change in resistance corresponds to the distance from the top of the sensor to the surface of the water. The resistance is inversely proportional to the height of the water. The more the water the sensor is immersed in results in better conductivity and will result in a lower resistance. The less water the sensor is immersed in results in poor conductivity and will result in a higher resistance. The sensor produces an output voltage according to the resistance, which by measuring can determine the water level. Applications of a water level sensor. These sensors can be used in water tanks to control the water level. They can also be used in automatically turn on and off pumps. Water flow sensor. Water flow sensor consists of a plastic valve from which water can pass. A water rotor along with a Hall effect sensor is present to sense and measure the water flow. This sensor sits in line with the water line and contains a pinwheel sensor to measure how much water has moved through it. There is an integrated magnetic Hall effect sensor that outputs an electrical pulse with every revolution. The YFS201 Hall effect water flow sensor comes with 3 wires. The red wire or VCC with 5 to 24 volt DC input, the black the ground wire with 0 volt, and the yellow or the output wire which is for the signal output. By counting the pulses from the output of the sensor, we can easily calculate the water flow rate liter per hour using a suitable conversion formula. Application of water flow sensor. These sensors are used for agricultural purposes as part of the irrigation process for maintaining proper flow of water. They are also used in food processing for chemical flow monitoring. Rainwater sensor. A rainwater sensor or rain switch is a switching device activated by rainfall. The alternating pattern on the sensor is a highly resistive circuit, and when water falls on the circuit, it provides a less resistive path for the current to flow, resulting in decrease in the resistance. How does this sensor work? The sensing pad with series of exposed copper traces together act as a variable resistor, just like a potentiometer, whose resistance varies according to the amount of water on its surface. This resistance is inversely proportional to the amount of water. Application of this sensor. You can use this sensor to monitor rain or slushy snow or hail and send closure requests to electronic shutters, windows, awnings or skylights whenever rain is detected. You can use this sensor in a water conservation device connected to an automatic irrigation system that causes the system to shut down in the event of rainfall. Soil moisture sensor. The soil moisture sensor is a kind of sensor used to gauge the volumetric content of water within the soil. These sensors measure the volumetric water content not directly but with the help of some other rules of soil like dielectric constant, electrical resistance, otherwise interaction with neurons, and replacement of the moisture content. 2 conductive probes given in the sensor are immersed inside the soil, and if the moisture content in soil is high, resistance between probes will be less. Let's find out how this sensor works. The fork-shaped probe with 2 exposed conductors acts as a variable resistor, just like a potentiometer, whose resistance varies according to the water content in the soil. This resistance is inversely proportional to the soil moisture. The more water in the soil means better conductivity and will result in a lower resistance. The less water in the soil means poor conductivity and will result in a higher resistance. The sensor produces an output voltage according to the resistance, which by measuring can determine the moisture level. Application of this sensor. Soil moisture sensors are used in numerous research applications, for example in agricultural science and horticulture, including irrigation planning, climate research, or environmental science, which includes solute transport studies, and as auxiliary sensors for soil respiration measurements. MQ2 gas sensor. MQ2 gas sensor is a robust gas sensor suitable for sensing LPG, smoke, alcohol, propane, hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide concentrations in the air. It is a metal oxide semiconductor (MOS) type gas sensor, also known as chemiresistors as the detection is based upon change of resistance of the sensing material when the gas comes in contact with that material. Using a simple voltage divider network, concentrations of gas can be detected. Let's find out how does this sensor work. When a semiconductor is heated in air at high temperature, oxygen is absorbed on the surface. In clean air, donor electrons in a semiconductor are attracted towards oxygen, which is absorbed on the surface of the sensing material. This prevents electric current flow. In the presence of reducing gases, the surface density of absorbed oxygen decreases as it reacts with the reducing gases. Electrons are then released into the tin dioxide, allowing current to flow freely through the sensor. Application of this sensor. This sensor can be used for making a fire alarm. This sensor can also be used for detecting an LPG leakage at home. DHT humidity and temperature sensor. DHT humidity and temperature sensor is a type of sensor that can be used to calculate temperature and humidity of surroundings. With a capacitive humidity sensor, a thermistor, and a microchip, this sensor can measure temperature and humidity in the atmosphere. It can be used as a digital as well as an analog sensor. It has two variants named as DHT11 and DHT22. They both come with varying properties and accuracy. How does this sensor work? It consists of a humidity sensing component, a NTC temperature sensor or a thermistor, and an IC on the back side of the sensor. For measuring humidity, they use the humidity sensing component, which has two electrodes with moisture holding substrate between them. So as the humidity changes, the conductivity of the substrate changes, or the resistance between these electrodes changes. This change in resistance is measured and processed by the IC, which makes it ready to be read by a microcontroller. On the other hand, for measuring temperature, these sensors use a NTC temperature sensor or a thermistor. A thermistor is actually a variable resistor that changes its resistance with change of the temperature. These sensors are made by sintering of semiconductor materials such as ceramics or polymers in order to provide larger changes in the resistance with just small changes in temperature. The term NTC refers to negative temperature coefficient, which means that the resistance decreases with increase of the temperature. Application of this sensor. This sensor can be used in measuring humidity and temperature values in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. This sensor can also be used in weather stations to predict weather conditions. Barometric pressure sensor. A barometric pressure sensor is a sensor that detects atmospheric pressure. This sensor can measure temperature and air pressure, and that data can be used to determine the altitude from sea level. It is generally called as BMP 180, barometric and pressure sensor. BMP 180 can measure biometric pressure from 300 to 1100 HPA, minus 500 meters to 9000 meters above sea level, and temperature from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 85 degrees Celsius with plus minus 1 degree accuracy. The pressure measurements are so precise, low altitude noise of 0.25 meters, that you can even use it as an altimeter with plus minus 1 meter accuracy. The BMP 180 consumes less than 1 milliampere during measurements and only 5 microampere during idle. This low power consumption allows the implementation in battery-driven devices. Applications of this sensor. This sensor is used in weather forecasting. This sensor is also used in engine management. Accurate monitoring of pressure enables computation of the ideal air-fuel mixture and control of spark advance for optimum efficiency. Microphone sensor. A sound sensor uses a microphone to detect sound and has an inbuilt potentiometer which you can use to increase or decrease the sensitivity of the sound reception. This can be used in a variety of applications where the use of sound reception is required. With vibrating diaphragm due to sound waves, this sensor can measure the level of sound present in the atmosphere. The sound sensor is a small board that combines a microphone 50 Hz to 10 kHz and some processing circuitry to convert sound waves into electrical signals. This electrical signal is fed to onboard LM393 high precision comparator to digitize it and is made available at out pin. The module has a built-in potentiometer for sensitivity adjustments of the out signal. You can also set a threshold by using a potentiometer so that when the amplitude of the sound exceeds the threshold value, the module will output low and otherwise high. Application of this sensor. This sensor can be used in security system for home and office. This sensor can also be used for making an audio amplifier. The ultrasonic sensor. This sensor is used to measure the distance of any object from itself using ultrasonic sound waves. This sensor is named as HCSR04 ultrasonic sensor. At its core, the HCSR04 ultrasonic distance sensor consists of two ultrasonic transducers. One acts as a transmitter which converts electrical signals into 40 kHz ultrasonic sound pulses. The receiver listens for the transmitted pulses. If it receives them, it produces an output pulse whose width can be used to determine the distance of the pulse traveled. Let's find out how does this sensor work. It applies a pulse of at least 10 microseconds in duration to the trigger pin. In response to that, the sensor transmits a sonic burst of 8 pulses at 40 kHz. This 8 pulse pattern makes the ultrasonic signature from the device unique, allowing the receiver to differentiate the transmitted pattern from the other ultrasonic noise in the surrounding area. The 8 ultrasonic pulses travel through the air away from the transmitter. Meanwhile, the echo pin goes high to start forming the beginning of the echo back signal. In case if those pulses are not reflected back, then the echo signal will time out after 38 milliseconds and return low. Thus, a 38 millisecond pulse indicates no obstruction within the range of the sensor. If those pulses are reflected back, the echo pin goes low as soon as the signal is received. This produces a pulse whose width varies between 150 microseconds to 25 microseconds, depending upon the time it took for the signal to be received. The width of the received pulse is then used to calculate the distance to the reflected object. This can be worked out using the simple distance speed time equation that we learned in high school. Application of this sensor. This sensor can be used in food and beverage to measure the liquid level. It can also be used for making people counter. Another use for this sensor is to make obstacle detection, height measurement devices, etc. Infrared sensor. This is an electronic device that emits infrared rays in order to detect any obstacle in the surrounding area. It works on the phenomenon of reflection of infrared rays. These rays are in the form of heat, so this sensor cannot detect black objects. How does this sensor work? The working principle of an infrared sensor is similar to the object detection sensor. This sensor includes an infrared LED and an infrared photodiode. By combining these two, it can be formed as a photocoupler, otherwise optocoupler. Infrared LED is one kind of transmitter that emits infrared radiations. This LED looks similar to a standard LED, and the radiation which is generated by this is not visible to the human eye. Infrared receivers mainly detect the radiation using an infrared transmitter. These infrared receivers are available in photodiode form. Application of this sensor: it can be used in making night vision devices. This sensor can also be used in making radiation thermometers. PIR sensor. PIR sensor detects a human being moving around within approximately 10 meters from the sensor. This is an average value, as the actual detection range is between 5 meters and 12 meters. PIR are fundamentally made of pyroelectric sensor, which can detect levels of infrared radiation. This is used as a motion detector. How does this sensor work? All objects with a temperature above absolute 0 Kelvin or minus 273.15 degrees Celsius emit heat energy in the form of infrared radiation, including human bodies. The hotter an object is, the more radiation it emits. PIR sensor is specially designed to detect such levels of infrared radiation. It basically consists of two main parts: a pyroelectric sensor and a special lens called Fresnel lens, which focuses the infrared signals into the pyroelectric sensor. Application of this sensor: it can be used for making security alarms, for detecting any intruder at your house or banks or public places. It can also be used for making automatic motion controlled doors. Pulse heart rate sensor. The pulse sensor is a well-designed low-power plug-and-play heart rate sensor for the Arduino. It can be used by students, artists, athletes, manufacturers, and game or mobile developers who want to incorporate live heart rate data into their projects. And the best part is that this sensor plugs right into Arduino and easily clips onto a fingertip or an earlobe. It is also super small, button-shaped with holes, so it can be sewn into a fabric. The front of the sensor is the side with the heart logo. This is where you place your finger. On the front side, you will see a small round hole from where the reverse-mounted green LED shines. Just below this LED is a small ambient light photosensor, similar to that used in cell phones, tablets, and laptops, to adjust the screen brightness in different light conditions. So let's find out how this sensor works. It works by shining a green light on the finger and measuring the amount of reflected light using a photosensor. This method of pulse detection through light is called photoplethysmogram. The oxygenated hemoglobin in the arterial blood has the characteristic of absorbing green light. The redder the blood, that means the higher the hemoglobin in blood, the more green light is absorbed. As the blood is pumped through the finger with each heartbeat, the amount of reflected light changes, creating a changing waveform at the output of the photosensor. As you continue to shine light and take photosensor readings, you quickly start to get a heartbeat pulse reading. Hall effect sensor. The Hall effect is the most common method of measuring magnetic field, and this sensor is used to detect the magnetic field with the help of a current conductor element inside it. If we have a thin conductive plate, as illustrated, and we set current to flow through it, the charge carriers would flow in a straight line from one to the other side of the plate. Now, if we bring some magnetic field near the plate, we would disturb the straight flow of the charge carriers due to a force called the Lorentz force. In such a case, the electrons would deflect to one side of the plate and the positive holes to the other side of the plate. This means if we put a meter now between the two sides, we will get some voltage which also can be measured. So the effect of getting a measurable voltage, as we explained above, is called the Hall effect. This sensor uses the same Hall effect for measuring the magnetic field. Applications of this sensor. This sensor can be used in magnetic switch applications to provide a digital voltage output. It can also be used in the automotive safety for sensing seat and safety belt position for airbag control. Capacitive touch sensor module. Touch sensors are the electronic sensors that can detect touch. They operate as a switch when touched. This is a touch sensor which gives you digital output when a human finger touches the sensing part. It is a type of touch-controlled electrical switch that operates by measuring change in capacitance. It works in the same manner as a typical capacitive smartphone. When you touch the surface, a small electrical charge is transferred from your body to the switch, which subsequently causes a change in capacitance. The switch detects this change, responding with the appropriate command. Application of this sensor. Capacitive touch sensors are used in smartphones. They are also used in home appliances, automotive, and other industrial applications. Let us now see the similarities between sensors and our human sense organs. There are some sensors which work similar to our own sense organs. As different parts of our body sense environmental parameters and convert them into neural signals, electronic sensors are also the same, where they sense the environment and convert it into electrical signals. Here are a few examples. Human vision and ultrasonic sensors. We can see things around us due to reflection of light, and in the same way, an ultrasonic sensor can measure the distance of any object from itself using reflection of ultrasonic waves. Human hearing and microphone sensor. As humans, we hear different sounds around us with our ears, and similarly, a microphone sensor can measure the level of sound in the atmosphere around it. The sense of smell in humans and the MQ gas sensor. Our nose helps in detecting various smells, and similarly, an MQ sensor can sense different gases present in the atmosphere. Human touch sense and the touch sensor. We can feel the touch of different things on our skin, and so can the touch sensor help in understanding the sense of human touch. Now let us see the industrial applications of sensors. Sensors are widely used in various industries. Let's take a few examples. They are used in the robotics industry. They are also used in making IoT devices. Sensors are widely used in home automation, automobile industry, agricultural industry, the medical field, and the aerospace industry. Did you know? The first ever sensor invented was by Warren Johnson, and it was an electric thermostat. It was used to measure atmospheric temperature. And guess when it was launched in the market? It was launched in the year 1883. Some frequently asked questions related to sensors are being shared with you along with their answers. Question 1. Can a sensor detect all the physical changes? Answer: no. Different sensors are made for detecting different physical changes. Question 2. When was the first sensor made and who made it? The first sensor was made in 1883 by Warren Johnson. Question 3. Are all the sensors 100% accurate? Since all the sensors have their own technological or hardware limitations, it would not be a great idea to call them 100% accurate at all times. Now let's come to the assignment. Try to do a sensor-based activity like interfacing some sensors with Arduino Uno and make a project.